Hello, everyone. My name is Mike Moran, and I'm the author of the Superhero Believers novel. And today we're going to be reading chapter 9. It should be action packed, and I hope you all enjoy it. I'm going to share the screen for you so you can see exactly what's happening. All right, here we go. Chapter 9, First Blood. Hey, Vaughn. Thanks for inviting me to your house. No problem, Jerry. You said you want to do training, right? Heck yeah, Jerry replied eagerly. All right, come to my backyard. Vaughn had invited Jerry over to his house for special training involving his powers. Since Vaughn's dad was a police captain, Jerry walked out to the backyard full of excitement, as if expecting to find a secret lair or underground training arena. Unfortunately, Vaughn's backyard was nothing like that. In fact, it was particularly plain and disappointing. There was a shabby white shed with paint chipping off, a rickety wooden fence, an empty rooster cage, a random hay cube, and lots of grass. Jerry looked over to Vaughn and said, I don't remember seeing any of the stuff at your football party. We hid, covered, and moved things around in order to make the space for the party. Jerry nodded his head in agreement, but then quickly asked, Isn't your dad a police captain? Where are all the cool weapons and training gear? Vaughn shook his head and replied, Not here. He keeps that stuff at the station. He probably has a gun in the house, but he'll never tell me where it is. So then, what are we doing here? I told you I'd help you train. Trust me. And wait a second. Juan answered quickly, sounding a bit annoyed by all the questions. He walked into the shed and made a few noises while digging and throwing objects around. Whack, thump, crash. Eventually, Vaughn walked out of the shed with two pairs of red boxing gloves. He chucked a pair at Jerry and said, Put them on. Are you sure about this, Vaughn? Yeah, why not? Jerry looked down timidly and said, I really don't want to hit you. Do you have a punching bag? I used to, but I broke it. Damn, that's impressive, Jerry said as he put on his boxing gloves and studied Vaughn. Vaughn was wearing a white tank top and blue workout jeans. He was sweaty, and his big, muscular arms and shoulders gleamed in the bright sunlight. He looked like a rough farm boy ready to rumble. You really are a tough guy, but I still don't want to hit you, Jerry reiterated. Suit yourself. I saw what you did to Kevin at the party, but I'm not a pushover like him. I'm going all out, whether you fight back or not, Vaughn zealously replied. Jerry felt a competitive spirit emanating from Vaughn. His aura was bright red and full of fire and desire to win. Jerry could tell this training meant a lot to Vaughn, so he nodded his head and agreed. All right, Vaughn, bring it on. Vaughn came in like a pro, gloves up for defense and throwing jabs at first to feel out his opponent. Jerry played it safe, blocking and avoiding his attacks. After a short while, Vaughn started coaching him. You're wasting a lot of energy, Jerry. What do you mean? You move around too much, Vaughn replied. Try to be more precise. Perfect your blocking and avoiding techniques to the point where they don't take much effort. Jerry followed orders and started examining the incoming punches more closely than he should have. He actually took a few blows to the body and face, and Vaughn started boasting. After a few more hits, Jerry figured out what Vaughn meant. He started narrowly blocking and avoiding all attacks. One punch came in so close that it skinned Jerry's nose, but he avoided it without wasting energy. Vaughn noticed Jerry's improvement and said, Good, you're getting it. Now, if you throw a few punches back, you might learn something new. What do you mean? The next thing you gotta learn is counterattacking, Vaughn explained. I taught you how to block and avoid attacks without wasting energy, so you could quickly attack back before the opponent has time to defend himself. Not feeling fully committed to the idea of hurting Vaughn, Jerry said, I still don't want to hit you, though. Stop being a pansy and do it already. Vaughn commanded. No! That's it, Jerry. You asked for it. Vaughn erupted with anger and adrenaline. He did not like it when anyone underestimated him. He had always been an extremist, an all or nothing kind of guy who didn't like to lose. He started throwing every punch he could, including combos and haymakers. Jerry was having trouble performing counterattacks. He was too busy blocking and dodging incoming attacks. He managed to tap Vaughn a few times, but that just made him angrier. Man up, damn it! Give me all you've got, Vaughn demanded threateningly. I can't, Vaughn. I don't want to hurt you. Ah! Vaughn punched Jerry Vaughn punched Jerry with great might. Thankfully, Jerry blocked it, but he stumbled backward, and Vaughn advanced forward, not letting up for a second. Jerry was no longer having fun. He could feel vicious intent coming from Vaughn, as if he really wanted to hurt him. Vaughn's fiery red aura became overwhelming and out of control. His emotions were taking over and negating any logical thinking. Soon, Vaughn had Jerry pinned against the shed, throwing punch after punch and turning the training session into a slugfest. Jerry did his best to protect his body and take hits, still not wanting to hurt Vaughn. Vaughn continued punching relentlessly, pouring more fury into every shot. He was like a robot, pummeling away without hesitation. He looked Jerry dead in the eyes without skipping a punch and said, "What's it going to take for you to fight back?" "Enough, Vaughn. This has gone too far," Jerry desperately exclaimed, wanting Vaughn to stop the fight. "Too far? I'll show you." Vaughn threw his gloves down, swiftly pulled out a knife, and thrust it toward Jerry's chest. Jerry panicked and exploded into a ball of fire. His whole body burst in flames and blasted away everything around him. The shed blew up sky high and launched Vaughn through the rickety wooden fence. Eventually, the shed came crashing down onto the ground in burnt bits and pieces. Small embers spread amongst the blades of grass, and the backyard officially looked like a battlefield, destroyed, torn up, and covered with fallen debris. All visibility was lost, replaced by smoke. Confused and nervous about what happened, Jerry called out for Vaughn, but no one answered. He immediately thought of the worst scenario, imagining that Vaughn had died in the blast. He began having flashbacks about his superpowered accident in middle school and the recent college shooting. Are my powers always going to haunt me? Jerry shuddered at the thought. He felt guilty and caught up in his memories. He let his guard down and missed something important. Another person had entered the backyard. Suddenly, a thunderous, piercing sound rocked Jerry's nerves. He fell to the ground and felt horrible pain. Then blood, lots of it. Feeling excruciating pain, Jerry blurted out, "Ah! What the? Vaughn, where are you?" Over by the wrecked fence, a mysterious voice called out, "Vaughn, don't worry, I shot the guy." "Blake? Is that you?" Vaughn weakly replied, still recovering from the blast. "Yeah, good thing I came by, right? I saw a guy blow up your shed, so I snuck up, caught him by surprise, and shot him," Blake said as he confidently walked up to Vaughn. Blake was a strong, heavy-set young man wearing a large white shirt, jean shorts, and no shoes. He was a dark-skinned, all-natural farm boy living in the modern world. He almost seemed a bit out of place, but he had a wide smile as he helped Vaughn stand up. Vaughn began frantically looking around and asked, "Where's Jerry? Wait, did you say you shot someone? Where did you get a gun? Is that my dad's gun?" "Yeah, I found it inside your house." "What, you thought I was going to walk outside unarmed after seeing your shed explode?" Vaughn anxiously looked around and called out Jerry's name, but no one replied. He quickly looked back at Blake and said, "Please tell me you didn't shoot Jerry. He was training with me, and." Blake's smile quickly changed to a frown, realizing he had made a terrible mistake. Vaughn saw Blake's face of guilt and said, "Oh no, Jerry!" The smoke soon cleared, and both Vaughn and Blake found Jerry. He was conscious, but bleeding out on the floor. "We gotta get him to a hospital," Blake said anxiously. "It's too far. He won't make it," Vaughn refuted. "We gotta stop the bleeding first." Jerry feebly spoke up. "Everyone, get back." Jerry closed his eyes and held his hand over his stomach. His hand started glowing red, and all the blood on the ground started bubbling. The blood began oozing slowly back up into Jerry's stomach. Then his hand changed to a silvery hue, and a bullet gradually pushed itself out of his stomach. Lastly, a bit of black-colored muck popped out. Then his wound closed, and the skin fully healed, as if he had never been shot. He gave out a sigh of relief and lay on the ground exhausted. Blake looked shocked and said, "What the heck was that?" Vaughn looked at him and said, um, Blake, this is Jerry. "Jerry who?" "Jerry Miller, the guy I told you about from track team, the football party, and the college shooting." "Wait, this is the guy? The one with powers?" "No way," Blake remarked. "Yeah, and you just shot him," Vaughn said bluntly. "Holy mother of... I just shot Jerry Miller." Blake stared at Jerry, who was lying on the floor feeling lucky to be alive. He soon felt overwhelming guilt, looked at Jerry, and confessed, "I'm so sorry. I came to see Vaughn, but then I saw the shed explode, and you were standing there. I didn't know who you were and thought you were trying to kill Vaughn, so I shot you. I'm so sorry." Jerry spoke up tiredly. "It's okay. I knew it was a mistake. I read your emotions." "Whoa, you can do that? That's amazing," Blake exclaimed, and then looked at Vaughn and said, "How'd you become friends with this guy?" "Got lucky, I guess. Anyway, you just shot him, Blake. Help him up, and we'll talk more inside." Blake extended his arm, pulled Jerry up, and they walked into Vaughn's house. And that's it. We just finished chapter 9. I hope you all really enjoyed it. Thank you so much, and hope to see you at the next video.